Why does a good God allow bad things to happen to us? If God is really loving and He cares for us more than anyone else, then why does God allow pain and suffering? If you want to have a grateful life, you're right where you should be today. Welcome to the Grateful Circle podcast, where we talk about gratitude, self love, and faith. I'm your host, Christine Grace Tome, and thanks for joining me today as we grow a grateful heart for a grateful life. Sorry, guys, but I don't know the answer. And maybe even the best theologians and philosophers would not give us a knowledgeable answer to this question. I don't have a reference book or a TED Talk video to reveal God's reasons, but all I have now are some notes of my own experiences with pain. Let me share them with you today. The past weeks have been heartbreaking for me and to many of my friends with the recent turnout of the elections here in the Philippines. And then a few days after that, a family member got very sick, adding more pressure to our family's already wounded heart. It felt like we have all the reasons to complain and we just want to freeze in the moment so that no more suffering would come our way. As I wrestled in prayer, I was reminded of the movie Avengers Endgame, which is the sequel of Infinity War. Will you be able to sleep at night if Endgame was not released? What if the story just ended with Infinity War? I'm sure Marvel Studios would not be at peace with that as well, because great stories don't end with a heartbreak. In the same way, this single moment of misery is not the end of our story. Baking also gives us a hint about happy endings. When we bake a cake, we start preparing the ingredients first. The basic ones are flour, egg, oil, sugar, and baking powder. I used to teach baking classes to grade schoolers, and they have a funny habit of tasting each ingredient first. Of course, I made a rule not to do it, but still, their curiosity would win. One of my students then was named Louis, and he tried out tasting baking powder. After dipping it on his tongue, his face instantly turned into a monster like grimace and then shouted aloud, "Yuck." Each ingredient may not taste good, but when mixed together, they make a yummy treat. Maybe that's how it is with life. We have sweet moments and bitter pain, and the final product is a life well lived. Last year, Caris got sick. Her tummy was always in pain, and she would go to the washroom several times a day. The doctor said it was amoebiasis. So she was given several medicines. I was confident that she would be able to take all these medicines because that's how she has always been, obedient and always up for the challenge. However, the antibiotic tasted so bad that she would refuse to drink it. With my little knowledge from parasitology in college, I knew she needed that medicine or else the amoeba would continue to wreak havoc in her digestive system. I tried all the techniques to make her drink the medicine, but to no avail. Days passed and she kept on refusing to drink it until one day I had to ask my husband to hold her tight so I could open her mouth and forcefully make her drink it. It was so heartbreaking to do it. She was bawling so loudly, and my heart was crying with her too. But I knew it was the best thing to do, or else she would suffer longer. Maybe this is how God feels too, whenever we are in pain. He cries with us. He allows pain and sits on it with us. He does not leave us alone in our sufferings. So if you're in pain now, I won't tell you to stop from crying. When my kids cry, I try my best not to say stop. I've done it before and I've learned my lesson. When I tell them to hold their tears, they will either cry more or hide their emotions. They may stop crying, but the emotions become hidden from me. They will just carry their burdens alone in the dark. I don't want that, so I let them cry. They need that to cleanse their eyes, and as our seasoned lolas would say, para tumibay ang baga. More importantly, kids need to cry because they don't know any other way to express how they feel. They are out of words for "I need you, mommy." Asking them to stop from crying is like putting a tape on their mouth and responding, "I'm not available." This does not just apply with kids. For us grown ups, we need to cry too. If you see someone in pain, don't tell them to stop their drama. It may seem like a drama to you, but it's hell for them. Just let them cry because they need to feel their feelings before they can move forward. You can't let go of anything that you did not hold on to. So just hold their hand, cry with them, and whisper a prayer with full faith. May God comfort my friend today. Yes, God allows pain. It could be brought by our own mistakes, or we could be victims of others' faults. Either way, let's put our focus on God. It doesn't matter how strong the storm is, as long as you have a storm proof shelter. God is our shelter, and He is good. Look back in your life and you'll see the evidence of His goodness. You can't deny it. Let us not define our moments by the pain we feel, but with the goodness that God shows us. He is good, and He loves happy endings, just like you and me. Thankful Trivia! I recently read a book entitled Hyperfocus by Chris Bailey. And he said there that studies have shown that positive thinking does not work to make you more happy or productive. Actually, it's counterproductive. And then he mentioned another book, The Happiness Advantage by Sean Anker, which tackles science-backed strategies that bolster happiness. On top of his list is gratitude. He said that you can think about 3 things that you are grateful for before sleeping at night. He also advised that we journal a good experience that we had during the day before we end our day. He also added meditating and performing random act of kindness. So guys, don't just use positive thinking and say to yourself, "I'm happy." Give yourself reasons to be happy. Be grateful today. I wish to pray for you. Please send me your prayers through DM on Instagram at Christine Grace Thomas. Thank you in advance for your message. It's a joy to journey with you towards a grateful heart. You are a blessing to me. I claim a grateful life for you and me.